Did the Chinese ever fight for Singapore? One fiction played by the PAP is that the Chinese community fought the Japanese in World War II in defense of Singapore. They claimed that this loyalty to Singapore led to the Japanese massacring between 25,000 to 50,000 Chinese in a genocide known as Sukching. So is it true? Did the genocide happen? Did the Chinese defend Singapore? Yes and no. The Japanese military did commit a genocide of the Chinese in Singapore in 1942. Thousands of Chinese were gunned down in the most brutal fashion. Now, it is true that some Chinese were recruited into a defense force known as Delforce. Many Chinese leaders extolled the courage of the Delforce troops. Lee Kuan Yew recounted that Delforce were a legend, a name synonymous with bravery. But did the Chinese really fight for Singapore? And was that why the Japanese targeted them? No, they did not. The Chinese did not fight for Singapore. They fought for China, as detailed by Blackburn and Chu in their article, Delforce at the Fall of Singapore in 1942. The Chinese community joined Delforce as part of their defense of their motherland, China. The fight in Singapore was simply to open another front to help defend their Chinese motherland. The Chinese community in Singapore had spent 5 years raising money for China's war against Japan. They raised millions. It was only when Japan was at Singapore's door that they, with the help of the British, tried to organize a small fighting force. And what happened when the Japanese started to hit them with artillery? According to a Delforce member, that there were few dead, but more who ran away. They ran even though they were not directly hit. So no, they did not fight for Singapore. And what about Sukching? It had nothing to do with this small group that did not really fight. In fact, the Japanese had little concern for them. Historians noted that Sukching was not launched as a retaliation against the Chinese volunteers, as they inflicted very few casualties due to their numbers being so small. In fact, among the local units described in the official Japanese war history series, Delforce is not mentioned. So yes, there was a massacre of the Chinese community by the Japanese during the occupation. But no, it had nothing to do with their courage or defense of Singapore. It was purely because of their loyalty and support for their motherland, China.